Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, Washington Post tried something, and it seems like it went too far. But that's how you figure out the boundaries. You push it, and then when you push back, you kind of know where the boundaries are at that point. It doesn't mean the next day you're gonna not try again. You're gonna try it again and see if the boundaries changed. So that's why sometimes some politicians, newspapers, media outlets made some claims, and then they see how people react. They order a poll, and then they figure out what people think about what you said or what you published. In this case, Washington Post published a racist cartoon. And now they apologize for it, and they say it shouldn't have been published in the first place. No, that was an attempt to see if it flies or it doesn't fly. And somehow it didn't fly. Under the current environment, it didn't fly. Probably would have flown 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 15 years ago. None no more. Why? Diversity is our strength, among others. The cartoon is wrong, but it's not illegal. All right? Let me show you what happened. Unfortunately, I'm using this garbage outlet, and I will tell you why garbage. Because if this is not garbage, then it shouldn't be garbage if it will be a magazine for someone else, and other group. I read a few articles coming from The Root, and I tell you that for me, personally, is very insulting and insensitive. Well, guess what? They don't give a shit, as they shouldn't. Why? Facts don't care about your feelings. Even though The Root, I listened. I read a few of their articles, and I covered a few in my videos. And I'm telling you, these guys are just, let's put it euphemistically, don't like one group. Okay? All right, now. Let's see what these guys are saying. Obviously, we have to have this one in order to operate. Washington Post apologizes for a racist Hamas cartoon that shouldn't have been published in the first place. Well, they tried, right? And editorial page editor David Shipley said he missed something profound and divisive. Okay, let's see. On Wednesday, the Washington Post finally removed a racist editorial cartoon that showed a Hamas leader. I'm going to show you the picture. Using civilians as human shields. It shouldn't have been published in the first place, considering how distasteful and downright inhumane it is to the Palestinians. But some people, because the decision was not made by one person, by multiple. It has been scrutinized by many people before they said, yeah, publish that one. I'm going to guarantee you that's the way happened in the editorial office. Ha! They were mad. Let's try it. Exactly that. Why? Because I say so. I now lack logic, but hey, I don't care, because I'm very, very upset today, especially this evening. And I can afford doing that once in a while. So, Michael Ramirez, oh my God, that's a minority right there, created the cartoon entitled Human Shields, end quote, depicting Palestinians with heavily exaggerated features. A man with sizable nose and growling mouth labeled Hamas is bound by a rope to four scared children and a woman wearing a hijab. All right, let me show you the cartoon, okay? There you have it. All right? And here it says, how dare Israel attack civilians? I'm going to make it bigger for you right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the woman over there, and who the E. All right? So this is what these guys published. Not offensive at all, huh? If it's not offensive, look the other way around. Remember, being offensive doesn't really matter to me, all right? As long as it's truthful. And free speech, I think, allows us to be offensive. Now, and who this guy, The Root? The Root? The Root is an African-American oriented online magazine. I don't see any extremist or anything or and created by this guy. Remember this guy? Let me put it this way. Remember this guy? When he was placed under arrest, or not yet, by that police officer at Harvard. He said, your mama, that PhD, that guy who got to be a professor at, wasn't he at, how do you call it? I don't know, Hamas and Jesus Christ. And Harvard, not Hamas, at Harvard University. Yeah, that guy. That your mama spoke towards a white police officer who showed up at his door asking some questions. He immediately had his chip on his shoulder and said, "Papa, do you know who I am?" That guy. So, thank you very much. And this guy, who's this guy? Majority owner, chairman, formerly been the publisher of the Washington Post, and later was the lead independent director of Facebook, Okay, I know who this guy is. So these guys are accepted people, all right? Now, if you would have here, the Root is an, let's say, European-American oriented online magazine, do you think would not come after that any supremacist or any racist or anything behind that? I think it would. Anyway, my friends, here it is. It shouldn't have been published. The decision was not made by one person. The decisions to publish a picture in an editorial is not made by the person who drew the cartoon. By many people, it goes through many editing sessions and approvals. So that was purposely done. And people said, man, I don't see anything wrong with that, obviously, because they published it. Otherwise, they wouldn't have published it in the first place. But they decided, let's try and see if it flies. Well, it doesn't. Next time, they're not going to put 4 children, they're going to put 2 children and say, let's see if it flies now. Because that's the way I function. They're not going to change anything about that picture. They're going to change from 4 children, make it into 2, thinking that the number matters, not the whole message. Now use that depicting other people with, okay, and see how that works. Jesus Christ. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.